Welcome to Divine Intuition, and we'll be looking at the High Priestess and the Higher Self. Now, the High Priestess is all about using your intuition. She's actually quite opposite from the Magician. The Magician is much more active, while she's much more passive and introspect. She's basically a woman of secrets. And when we take a look at the card, you see a veil behind her. And that veil is actually covering a pool of water. And that pool of water represents your subconscious mind. Now, she's aware that this pool of water is behind her, but she doesn't fully understand it. And that's how we interact with our subconscious minds. We are aware that it's there, but we just don't fully understand it or don't know how to access it. So, as you can tell, she's all about your subconscious mind and your inner self. So this is what this card highly represents. And if you take a look at the crescent moon, it also represents your inner self, because the crescent moon is all about the feminine nature. It's all about your imagination, your intuition, and your ability to see beyond the invisible. So the moon is a strong symbol in this card. And we also see the two pillars right here beside her, where this is Boaz and this is Jachin. These pillars represent the dualities, or the opposites, that we experience in our daily lives. So anyways, the Jachin here represents the masculine, the logic, the practicality, and force. And Boaz represents the feminine, the imagination, intuition, receptivity, and compassion. So this is why I kind of related to our left and right brain, because our left brain is all about logic and using mathematical skills and seeing things in a linear way, whereas Boaz is more feminine and more expressive, is more creative, and does not see things in a linear way. It sees everything in one. So the everything is one form. Alright? Whereas Jachin sees everything linear, sees everything separate, sees everything as an egoic form. So this is what the pillars represent, and then if you add them together, see, she has the plus. I feel that she's a bridge between both the feminine and the masculine, just like how we have a bridge between our left brain and our right brain. Alright, so here she's also holding a scroll, and you can see it says Torah, so you see the T-O-R-A, but the H is being hidden from her cloth. And this is much like the mysteries of our subconscious. Some information we are able to access, but not all. So some information is hidden from us. So that is what the representation of the hidden H of the scroll represents. Now, if we take a look at the higher self is much more different than the High Priestess. They're pretty similar, because you do see the High Priestess there, but the meaning is much more different. You see her here, but she's actually in the water, whereas High Priestess here, she is not inside of the water. The pool of water is behind her, but she's aware of it. But the higher self is in the water, and what I feel is that she's actually the High Priestess has become our higher self. So when we access our subconscious mind, it's like we're accessing the pool of water, and she's in the pool of water. So when we access our subconscious mind, we access our higher self. See? So there she is. And once we access our higher self, we have access to the scrolls, which here represents the Akasha records. So she's basically giving you out the Akasha records. All the information is here for you to read, to gain knowledge of, once we access our higher self. And well, the Akasha records is actually like a universal library, where we have all the information of human history and anything we need to learn about our world and the universe, and all the answers are there to your questions. Now the question is, how do we get in tune with our higher self? Well, first we have to quiet the mind, and the mind is always chattering constantly, and it's always active, and it gets enhanced when we face these daily activities, daily routines that we have to go through every day. So maybe try isolating yourself for a while, or meditating at night or in the morning, and try to silence the mind. The more you practice, the more this muscle, it's like a muscle you're building, the more it will get stronger. And I feel that once you practice as much as you can, you'll start accessing the pool of water within you. And with the pool of water comes a lot of wonders. First of all, you get access to your higher self, who holds all the knowledge of the world, of the universe, basically. So you have all this power within you. So this is what I feel that the higher self represents. It's like a level up from the High Priestess, a more depth towards the meaning of the High Priestess, right? The High Priestess is actually our higher self. Now, this card also speaks of psychic vision, intuitive sense, the mystery school of the soul, and the presence of unseen forces. So this card is all about looking within and all about the hidden forces around us that we have no access to seeing, but we are aware that they're there. So that's all about using your psychic ability, using your intuition, especially when you make a decision. You use this invisible force, you use this internal ability to be able to make these decisions. And most of us do use this internal ability called intuition, but sometimes we're not aware of it. So most of the time it's our higher self taking over. So after a while, we'll be more aware of that side of ourselves, that internal side of ourselves that mostly has control of the situation. We mostly have control of the situation, but it's just another form of us. It's just another form that takes over. So yeah. So these are the differences between the High Priestess and the Higher Self. Now this is the second number of the Major Arcana. So this is actually the second step that the Fool takes towards his journey to reach the world. So okay, hope you enjoyed. So this was the Higher Self and the High Priestess.